Sure, you get him laughing before
Just
he's
as the
even...
cue comes in, Tony makes a comment. That's awesome.
That's why he gets fired.
Love it.
That's why he's fired.
No, he's not fired. He wins immunity again for that one because that was good.
15 minutes. Yay!
So, as you can tell, we're already off and running. My sports fans and fellow nerd people. You welcome yet again to some more monkey business. Apparently, we got started early, even before the recording began.
Barely.
This is
Tony's laugh.
your host with the most, Chris, the man, the myth, the legend in my own mind.
Mine too.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Billy.
What mind?
Do you guys need a moment?
We're having a bromance. Leave it.
I'm with.
Does it mean I have to put my shirt back on?
Yes.
Yes, please.
It's okay.
I thought you lost that mind a while ago.
Oh, yeah. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. I'm telling you.
14 years ago.
My brain was fried. Oh,
It
yes.
was longer than that.
That voice is my 14-year-old son, so he's doing the math and figuring out it was his fault. That's good. I like that.
It really wasn't.
He's sitting there all stone-faced. He's like, wait, that backfired on me.
How long have you known Dan?
How long have I known Dan? 32 years.
Maybe. Never mind.
Yeah. So it's the same for me and Brian, too,
Yeah,
32.
we had our minds back then. I don't know for how long after.
We survived high school. That's all that matters to me. All right, so as always, it's hi.
Should I hit this? Let's try again.
Take two. Hi, everybody. This is your smooth talking. Oh, God, yes.
With that raspy voice.
So, Billy.
Are you ready?
Yes, being a slide trap.
So for Billy, Tanya,
He can't even
Tony,
do the
Ian,
ending
Brian,
now.
and Dee, congratulations.
Tongue twister. Billy, Tanya,
There we go.
Thank you for listening.
Get me off the hook.
Oh, Billy's on fire today.
Dee.
We're not even off the rails. We're not even on the rails.
No, I don't think the
we
car made
start-
it on the rails to begin
we
with.
started off.
I think we're somewhere in the deep space.
There it is. Wow. Take three.
Ooh, new music.
Deep from the beta quadrant.
Just
All right.
deeper in.
Oh, just deeper in. Can we start?
Further than Krypton.
I think so. So as we tried to say, and I failed miserably at on several occasions, this has been monkey business. Has been. Was maybe.
Will be.
There's
Maybe.
There it is. It's going to be one of those days.
okay.
Our listeners are going to be so confused today. They're like, is this a podcast? Is this not a podcast? What's
In my
going
defense, I'm at the tail end of a chest cold, so I haven't been sleeping very well.
You think that's going to save you at this point?
I'm on
right
a lot
now?
of medication to try and help me feel better. And this is, I don't care if it's going to save me or not. I'm just trying to let people know where I stand on things right now.
I told you I would be able to host today, but you were like, no, I got to do it.
No, I
You
got
gotta do
this.
it. Yeah,
I got this.
You know what? I think we should discuss what superhero could save this show right now.
I don't think any of them could at this point. I don't
Wonder
even,
Twins.
They're running
Twins.
away
How about
from
the
the
Flash?
show.
Be fast enough to go back
back-
to the past and change
back
it.
in time and start
I
things
do
over.
Flashpoint and then start it all over.
That's
but,
awesome.
But you want to let people know who's
Maybe
here
that's
today?
the reason why it's broken.
Okay. In the studio.
In the
We have the
studio, we
legendary
have
Billy
Billy.
DeTore on the board. At the other end, we have Brian. Pow! We have our intern, Tony.
Hi, guys.
And we have
Ow.
Chris that's trying to pick himself up off the floor.
No, I'm done. Stick a fork in me. It's over.
And Chris's son, Ian, is in the studio with
Howdy
us
do.
today.
He's a man.
We have the absolutely
Child.
wonderful woman on the phone.
Legend of stage and screen. Deanna Schulmerich.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Oh, as you can tell,
And I am trying to take over for Christopher.
you go right ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna have fun.
I'm Tanya.
I'm gonna have fun going. Oh my God.
I'm not telling
So
you.
today I think we're talking about superheroes, and Brian's definitely trying to figure out what superhero could save this podcast today, and could be any number of them. The Flash definitely to go back in time and restart this all.
Superman quit his job listening to this.
And we just send the legends back to fix it.
There you go.
Watch
then
out for
and they
the,
lose the
what
Spear
is
of
it,
Destiny.
the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Did
know,
you finish that?
I'm a little bummed. I have not watched any of the CW shows in 2017
So
so
let's
far.
spoil them all for you.
Yeah, I
Let's do
wouldn't
it.
put that past you. I wouldn't.
Wow.
I mean, I got some catch up time to do soon.
You do. When can you binge?
Well, it's probably not going to be until they all come out on Netflix or something at this stage because, like, only a certain amount of episodes
Episodes are on CW.
are on CW at any given moment in time. So I know I've lost access to the first couple of the year.
Yeah.
So I'll have to wait until they're all on the services, and then I can go ahead and just binge watch them. Probably this, like, after the convention.
I'm never ahead of you on TV shows, and I'm up to date.
You're often ahead of me on
now I
television
am
shows.
with the CW.
Like
and
you knew
things
what
like,
was going. I haven't watched Agents of Shield in a couple of years, and you were like way ahead of me on that.
Oh
one.
yeah, I'm still not too thrilled with
I
Agents
could
of Shield
start
right
binging
now, but
after my
but
Drew in
Ward's back.
2010.
Oh, jeez, I got to catch up on that one.
Yes, Ward's back.
Ward left.
Like Good Guy Ward.
Good guy Ward.
Really?
Huh.
Yes, because right now they're in the framework, so they're all hooked up to these machines and stuff. So
They're like pulling a
so
Matrix.
spoilers.
Is it like
yeah,
a Matrix thing?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, we're in
So
a
like
warning
Daisy
notice.
doesn't have her powers. She's actually Sky.
Oh my stars!
And
Welcome to the first season of.
And May is actually it's all Hydra, except for Ward is Hydra, but he is.
I'm lost 'cause
Coulson's a teacher.
I stopped. I haven't watched since like the middle of the whole Ghost Rider thing. So I'm,
Yeah, that's about where I dropped.
I dropped right before then.
This was LMD, Life Model Decoy. Is this whole series?
Right.
So it's all decoys. They're all like androids that were coming in from
Interesting.
the
Oh.
Dr. Radcliffe stuff.
Is it like Is it like the Wonderful Life?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
All right.
But yeah, they
to see.
just restarted up this past week. Well, you guys are going to be hearing this probably late April, early May, but when we're recording this, it's early April.
Right.
So
And then of course the CW shows I've dropped off of, and I missed that because those were all really good, like Flash and Arrow and Legends and what am I missing? Supergirl.
that's the one I've only seen a couple episodes of Supergirl. I haven't watched that one.
Supergirl's my favorite.
It really is good.
Yeah.
I think
thought
they've done a
Riverdale
really
was your
good job with it.
The superhero shows.
Oh,
the
okay,
DC
because we're talking about
superheroes.
superheroes,
Yeah.
not just CW.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, recently, because I've been laid up sick at home, I've finally gotten a chance to start watching Iron Fist on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
And I know that's got mixed reviews. A lot of people have been kind of tanking it, and others have been like, "Well, it's all the most
It's okay."
The most positive review I've heard so far was, in essence, it was okay. So nobody's been bowled over by Iron Fist. I've
There have
noticed.
been a couple above average episodes, and the rest are
Just mediocre.
just keep me going to the next Marvel show.
Right.
Because
Well,
all
just
tie
Defenders,
in.
right?
So is the OCD completest of the group.
Yeah.
It took me, I watched the first 8 or 9 episodes the first weekend, and I just had to fight myself I
get all
finished
the way to the end.
to get the last 2 episodes yesterday morning.
Oh, and
I think-
I watched episode 9 this morning, so I have 10 through 13 left to go, and I'm just finding same thing that some of them are like ooh action, but then
But even
okay, and
the
then-
action seems I'm overly choreographed. It's
Well,
The
it's
fight
too
scenes
pretty.
don't feel as
And-
organic
and
as
to
Daredevil
pull
did.
all your chi in
Yeah.
30 seconds to
Yeah.
light up your hand. Okay.
Danny Rand just seems too easily overtaken by random security guards and hospital orderlies and anyone
And
else.
that duel that he had to do.
He yells at Colleen for her students almost getting the jump on her, and yet
And how many times has he been jumped?
he gets regularly beat up.
Yeah, it's like I said. The fight scenes has not felt to have as organic as Daredevil's did.
Yeah.
Now I have not seen Luke Cage yet, and I know that's not lack of desire. I've wanted to see it as its timing and the way things have worked together. So I'm hoping to binge Luke Cage after I'm done.
I
with,
like the Luke
Iron
Cage
Fist.
better as a show, although the pacing on that was a little off. It should
was
have
a
been.
little-
It should have been maybe 3 episodes shorter.
And I'd say the same about Iron Fist. I think they just dragged on a little bit too long on a few things.
Well, it seems to be the new paradigm is these 13 episode series. With Doctor Who does the 13. I know a couple of other British shows do 13. Game of Thrones has always been 10, hasn't it? Game of Thrones, their series is 10 per season.
I don't
know. There's just the new
think
paradigm. I'm trying to move away from. I'm sorry, Dee. What was that?
I think Game of Thrones is 10.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is 10. So keeping the shorter seasons, but I think with Daredevil, they kind of Netflix Marvel said we're going to go for 13.
But Daredevil held up with
It did.
13, as did Jessica Jones.
2
Both-
seasons of Daredevil now.
Yes. And they threw in Punisher, which they've now announced is going to be another show. Punisher's
Elektra.
getting his own show.
And Elektra, they threw in Elektra.
Whereas Luke Cage, I thought was a good show, but a little too long.
Okay.
Iron Fist, I like this episode. Oh, I don't like this episode. I don't like Warden Joy in this episode. I don't care about Harold in this one.
The show is very bipolar.
Yeah.
I felt like
is.
It is, but that's
the
a good.
entirety of the last episode just felt off. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, I'm only at
but it just
episode 6
felt
right now.
off.
And I'm at 10. Yes, you're right about Game of Thrones. They've had 10 episodes per season, except for season 7, which is coming out. They're only having 7 episodes.
Right, and then there's going to be 6 in the
People are
final.
up in arms about that. They're really not happy about that.
Well, you got to understand that there's only so much story left to tell, and you don't want to. I think what they're trying to do is the Game of Thrones producers are consciously saying, we're running out of story here. We don't want to stretch it out just to sake to fill episodes, because that's something we've talked about in several podcasts, like especially our whole conversation about classic Doctor Who. As recently as last week, we were talking about classic Doctor Who and how, the classic series, they were trying to fill a lot of time. So there's just a lot of walking around and a lot of following it. And you don't want to get stuck into that trap, or, what's going to happen if they stretched it out to a 10-season episode for those last 2 of Game of Thrones. People are going to look back at it and go, wow, that was really not that good. It didn't end well.
My dad.
It's not the TV producer's fault. It's the fact that George R.R. Martin won't write anything.
And
it's not that he won't. He's taking his own sweet
finish
time.
The stories via the TV show. He's not going to write the last book.
Is that official? Has he said that?
I think that's what it is, that he's finishing the story through the Game of Thrones
through the TV series. That's amazing.
Yeah, that he's not going to write
and then have somebody else write the novelization.
I think he'll wind up writing it because money talks, and it's another way he can make, after the fact, he can write the book.
But don't forget, he is, older.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's been one foot in the grave for how long now? 20 years?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, all right.
My dad was watching Black Sails on HBO.
That's a series I want to get into eventually.
It's a pretty good series.
Mm-hmm.
Just ended. They actually released a statement saying, "This is going to be the last season. We've only made 2, and that's because there's only so much we can do before the story ends."
Mm-hmm.
Once they get because it's a prequel to Treasure Island. Once they get the treasure on the island, there's not really much they could do.
Exactly. After that, it kind of starts fading, and I did not know that at first. I did watch the very first episode of Black Sails, and I was definitely intrigued by it. I mean, Hannah knew. Whew, holy cripe! I want to know what she knew. But then when you see that the hero kind of character is John Silver, that does not escape, that reference does not escape me at all. So yeah, I can, and that's the thing. I think like with Game of Thrones, they're kind of handcuffed because they're running out of things to say. The end is coming. It's near. It's happening. You don't want to cheap it. I mean, you could do probably a 10-episode final season, and then it would be too rushed. It's almost like what George Lucas did with the prequels of Star Wars with 1, 2, and 3. He had to get little boy Darth Vader to big boy Darth Vader, and he tried to pack all of this stuff in to make that happen. And so episodes 2 and 3 felt really kind of weird and overdone and too much.
Rushed.
Yeah, rushed. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So with Game of Thrones, you could probably pack everything in and close up shop after season 7. But then you would get that problem. So I think they're making a good move, in my opinion, where they're going to do 2 shortened seasons. It's going to give them a chance to tell a tight story, but it's also going to give them a chance to hit all of the points they want to hit without really screwing it over too much. And so that's our talk about CW TV shows today, and thank you.
Well, we initially were going to talk about just superheroes in general.
Superheroes in general?
And how female superheroes are coming into their own.
Yeah, that was an idea you had, Dee, wasn't it?
I think so. Long time ago.
Long time ago?
In a galaxy far, far,
Far
away.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, has anyone heard that they came out with a statement? Leia will appear in
I did see
episode
that.
9.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Not
Without
with
CGI.
That was on our. We actually somebody, I think it may have been Dan, posted that on our page.
Our Facebook the other day?
Yeah, I saw that yesterday, and
How are they going to pull that off? It's just a lot of...
From what I understand, they're going to be doing a lot of... They're going to be cutting scenes from episode 7 and 8.
Okay.
And then manipulating them for her to give her lines in episode 9.
So there's going to be some digital manipulation, but it's not going to be a CGI resurrection like they did with Peter Cushing's character in Rogue One. Okay. All right, well, that's...
I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I'm obviously a huge Princess Leia fan, huge Carrie Fisher fan.
Yeah, well, we had a whole podcast
really
talking about it.
interesting to see how they do this.
And and that's an option we didn't anticipate, because when we first started talking about it a few months ago, we were like, how do you write her out, or how do you recast her? How do you do this? They came up with an option C that we didn't expect, so that's kind of cool. Hey, if they think
That's
they
why
can
they
do
make
it,
the big bucks.
You know, that's seriously. Well, if they think they can pull it off, I'm all about it. That's cool.
And it's a good way of appeasing both sides of the fans.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.